When it comes time to build or renovate, most homeowners look at the initial quotes and immediately default to a carpenter-made kitchen. The numbers on day one almost always point to it being the cheaper option. But a kitchen takes a massive amount of physical punishment. Every single day, they deal with boiling water, steam, splattering oil, heavy cast iron utensils, daily scrubbing, and constant movement. Look at this graph tracking total cost over 10 years. The carpenter kitchen starts with a lower initial price, but due to ongoing repairs and material degradation, that cost curves sharply upward, easily surpassing the flat, predictable cost of a modular kitchen around year 3. Evaluating your options by how the kitchen endures daily demands year after year is far more critical than focusing on the initial price tag. Judging a kitchen strictly by its day one quotation ignores the reality of long-term mechanical friction. You might save money at the start, but the next decade often brings the hidden costs of constant maintenance and parts replacement. On-site carpenters have been building kitchens for decades. A skilled carpenter can adapt to tight initial budgets and get the job done. But building entirely on-site carries a massive structural risk. The success of the entire project rests solely on the daily mood, discipline, and individual skill level of one isolated team working in your house. If that team is average or rushed, you are left dealing with the permanent consequences: uneven gaps between doors, rough finishing on the edges, and cabinets without standard sizing. Contrast that raw manual process on the left with the modular system on the right. A modular kitchen is a mathematically predetermined grid. Every component is measured, engineered, and manufactured in a highly controlled environment before a single piece ever arrives at your home. Relying on factory precision removes the risk of human error from your living room. It guarantees that the internal structure will perform exactly as it was mathematically designed to. Think about the drawers. A carpenter typically builds a drawer on site, planes the wood by hand, and adjusts the runners until it fits the available hole. A modular drawer is mathematically measured down to the millimeter and fitted with exact load-bearing channels. When you load that drawer with 30 pounds of cast iron pans and ceramic plates, it still slides open effortlessly. A functional workspace relies on this kind of smooth movement under load to remain usable over the long term. Two kitchens might look identical in a showroom, but the real test happens after roughly 3 years of use, when the internal mechanics either hold up or begin to sag and stick. This blueprint illustrates another major advantage: kitchen zoning. Modular systems are planned around 5 distinct operational areas: cooking, washing, preparation, storage, and appliances. Without this strict zoning, you encounter daily physical frustrations. You end up storing heavy pots far above your head, or walking across the room to throw away vegetable scraps, because the dustbin was never planned for a position near the sink. Intelligent spatial zoning physically reduces the number of steps you take while cooking. It turns a frustrating, disorganized layout into a seamless workflow. There is a massive difference between a carpenter building wooden storage boxes and a designer actively optimizing your space. Optimization means assigning a specific purpose to every inch of the kitchen. That requires specific hardware integrations: dedicated cutlery trays, bottle pullouts, rotating corner units, and tall pantries that glide out to reveal your groceries. Adding more random shelves and cabinets without optimizing them actually works against you. It makes the kitchen feel cramped, dark, and incredibly difficult to navigate. When the internal mechanics are highly organized, the outside of the kitchen naturally becomes cleaner and more minimal. High-end luxury comes from visual clarity. You achieve it by hiding your daily clutter intelligently, rather than just hammering together more wooden boxes to shove things into. Finishing a kitchen at your house is a messy reality. It involves constant cutting, pasting, and manual polishing. And because it's done by hand, one shutter will inevitably look slightly different from the one next to it. Factory manufacturing eliminates that variance. Machines apply edge banding under high heat and pressure, resulting in perfectly clean internal surfaces and an exterior finish that is identical across every single cabinet. Visual luxury is a product of clean lines, balanced proportions, and perfectly even gaps. Details that expensive handles can never replace on a poorly aligned structure. Many people still argue that carpenters offer better flexibility because you can change your mind while the kitchen is being built. As you can see in this comparison matrix, that flexibility is actually a massive risk. Changing shelf heights or handle positions mid-construction causes a domino effect, where gaps no longer align and appliances fail to fit, leading to permanent mistakes. True flexibility must happen during the design phase. You want to make all your changes in the software long before a single sheet of material is cut to prevent wasted money and permanent layout errors. Over time, things will need fixing. In a carpenter kitchen, the structure is usually interconnected. Repairing one damaged panel often disturbs the cabinets around it. With a modular system, each unit is isolated. If one shutter is damaged, you simply unscrew it and swap it out. Modular systems also force clear accountability. You receive explicit material specifications, hardware brand warranties, and defined service agreements. If something breaks, you know exactly who is responsible for fixing it. But look at this checklist closely, because buying modular is not an automatic guarantee of quality. If the layout is careless, the materials are cheap, or the installer is inexperienced, even a modular kitchen will fail to function. You still have to do your homework. You must verify exactly how the sink area will be waterproofed, where the electrical points are placed for your appliances, and how the cooking zone will be ventilated. Modular is merely a manufacturing method. To get a high-performing kitchen, you have to pair that factory precision with an expert, deliberate design team. When you compare the two options for modern households, modular systems simply offer too many advantages. They deliver precise execution, highly optimized storage, and a remarkably professional aesthetic that manual labor struggles to match. The initial quote for a carpenter might look incredibly tempting, but investing in a properly designed modular system protects you from a decade of daily friction, sticky drawers, peeling edges, and constant regret. Evaluate your kitchen purchase based on the 10-year living experience, not the day one price tag. So, looking at your own home, would you choose a modular kitchen or a traditional carpenter build? Let us know your decision down in the comments. And if you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more smart design decisions. A successful design prioritizes daily performance over the temporary appeal of a day one aesthetic.